Okay, let's look at page 949. We're going to be looking at volume, and volume is the amount of space inside a three-dimensional figure. Centimeter cubes can help you find the volume of a prism, and there's 1 centimeter cube. So let's look. Use centimeter cubes to build 4 different rectangular prisms. Complete the 4th and 5th columns in the table below for each prism. So prism A, we have a length of 1 and a width of 2. And a height of 1. So the width is 1, the length is 1, the width is 2, and the height is 1. So we have 2 cubes. And that means our volume is 2 cubic centimeters. Okay, let's look at B. On B, we have a length of 2. A length of 2 and a width of 2 and a height of 1. And we have 4 cubes, or 4 cubic centimeters. Okay, this time we're going to have a width of 3. Okay, a width of 3. Let me turn it this way. You have a width of 3. A length of 3, a length of 3, a width of 2, and again a height of 1. 2. Oops, a height of 2. Oh my goodness, I've got to bring in more, don't I? If we have a height of 2, okay, we have here a length of 3, a width of 2, and a height of 2. Let's see how many we have. There's 4, there's 8, and there's 12. So we have 12 cubes, or 12 cubic centimeters. Okay, for D, we have a length of 4. So let's put them together. So we have a length of 4, a width of 2, and a height of 2. And let's see how many we have. 4, 8, 12, and 16. So we have 16 cubes, which means we have 16 cubic centimeters. Look at this. Length times width times height. 1 times 2 times 1 is 2. Let's look at this one. 2 times 2 times 1 is 4. 3 times 2 is 6 times 2 is 12. 4 times 2 is 8 times 2 is 16. So to find the volume, we have to multiply the length times the width times the height. A prism built from cubes has no gaps or overlaps. A cube with a side length of 1 unit is called a unit cube. A unit cube has a volume of 1 cubic unit, or 1 unit with a little 3. Okay, remember if it has a 2, it's squared, but if it has a 3, it's cubed. A cubic unit is a unit for measuring volume. So here's 1 cubic unit. Here's 2 cubic units. Here's 4 cubic units. We'll stack them up like they have them. Okay. So if you use 12 centimeter cubes to build a rectangular prism, the prism has a volume of 12 cubic centimeters, or 12 centimeters cubed. Okay, let's look at page 950. Use centimeter cubes to build the rectangular prism shown. Complete each table for each layer. All right, let's look at layer 1. We have a length of 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4. We have a width of 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's one layer. Length of 4, width of 3. So let's write it down here. Our length is 4, our width is 3, our height is 1. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 3 times 4 is 12 cubes, or 12 cubic centimeters. Now, I'm not going to build all these layers, but let's look at the second layer. The second layer would have a length of 4, a width of 3, a height of 1, and we would have 12 cubes in our second layer, this one. There's our second layer. And that would be 12 cubic centimeters. That would be the volume of our second layer. Let's look at our third layer. Our third layer would be another layer identical to this one, with 4 in the length, 3 in the width, 1 in the height, and again 3 times 4 is 12, and that would be 12 cubic centimeters. There's the third layer. Here's the fourth layer. The fourth layer is identical. 4 in the length, 3 in the width, 1 in the height. That would be 12 cubes in the fourth layer, and the volume would be 12 cubic centimeters. Now, we have 4 layers, don't we? So we have to say there are 4 12s here. 4 times 12 is 48. So there are 48 cubes. The volume would be 48 centimeters cubed. Okay, let's look at number 1. Describe the relationship between the number of cubes needed to build a rectangular prism and its volume in cubic units. So we know that the volume is the same as the number of cubes needed to build a rectangular prism. The volume is the same as the number of cubes. So the volume is the total number of cubes needed to build a rectangular prism. Number 2, describe the pattern in the table between the length, width, and height and volume of each prism. Well, we would take the length and multiply it by the width and multiply it by the height, and that would equal the volume. Just like we did here. Length times width times height and then the number of layers. In this case, we just did one layer at a time, but if we were looking at this as a whole, we would say length times width times height, and our height would be 4, wouldn't it? Okay, number 3. Use L for length, W for width, and H for height to write a formula for the volume, V, of a rectangular prism. So that's length times width times height